Welcome back, everybody. Today we're tuning Vang. It's an interesting car, but let me just give you some updates. What we got here, we cleaned out some shops, but the Subaru's finally back on the lift. We got Steph over here, one of the craziest client I ever had. That thing got out of hand real quick. So he came in, we were tuning, we had some issues, and we decided to do the bottom end. He got fully sleeved our drag long block, wide scope pistons and Manley rods, still the stock crank. And then we had some issues with the head. I think wherever it was, they didn't do certain things correctly. The springs were not seating correctly. So we also did the head, and now he has a Kelford C cams, fully ported, really our stage 3 drag head as well. And then he decided, well, there was an opportunity to upgrade the turbo kit. One of our customers were selling it, so he basically has a forward-facing turbo GTX, well, actually G42. So we did the fuel system, we did everything. The turbo actually sits right here, and it's a pretty big turbo. So we have to relocate all the stuff in that corner to the front, and it's going pretty good. He should be done by next week. Let me show you the Subaru. The Subaru, everything's bundled up. He was missing actually a few bolts in the transmission, so we ordered them. That's here. We're going to put that in today. Everything should be good to go. Probably by end of next week, we should be up and running for the break-in procedure. Jose has fully built long block. He has bottom end built, wide scope piston, still a 2.0. He has a head build with S2 cams. He's still got the stock, what you may call a turbo for the EVO 9, but it's coming together. When we opened it, we realized that two of the studs were new. So somebody replaced these, and these two were cracked. So the stud itself was kind of cracked and bent, and we saw the gasket, it was leaking slightly. And I think you can see it here too. And this one was completely frozen. So we're repairing that right now. And yeah, it's going to be good. Back to Vang. Let's see where Vang is. So Vang came in to us maybe like 3-4 weeks ago. He brought us complete radium engineering fuel kit, injectors. We put everything together, and he was like, oh, the car is running good, but I want to see what you can do. And he also brought us an AEM Infinity, which we installed, and a cd7. We installed that, programmed it, everything going good. And then we started street tuning the car. We realized that there was a huge leak somewhere in here for the oil and water. Lifted the car, we saw that the pan itself was leaking, and there was like 2 different kind of RTVs on it. So we fixed that, started the car, everything was good. Then we saw that the water pump itself was leaking, and there was bolts missing. And his timing was off a little bit. So we're like, all right, let's just fix all that. He has adjustable cam gear, so it should be very easy to fix. And then we saw that he had a 4G64, not a 63. He was under the impression that he had a 63. So this is a 4G64 2.4. We did see that he had, when we opened the pan, he had H-beam rods and wide scope pistons. So when we tried to fix the oil pump, we realized this was the wrong oil pump, and it didn't have the adapter plate for the 64 to mate onto the EVO head. And timing was definitely off, because you got to retard the exhaust or intake, one of them, just to make the tooth align. But it was very, very easy. because he has adjustable cam gear. So we basically just lined up the crank and then loosened this up and moved the center line of the cams, which are these markings, to fit this. And that was great. The car is running amazing. And then we basically street tuned it. Everything was good. We don't know exactly what size this turbo is. I think it's a 62, 66, but we'll find out. And that's basically it. And I just want to touch on one topic that I've recently noticed that's kind of been bothering me. One thing about our culture, and that is most of our clients are great, and most of you guys who are in this community, the EVO or car community, you know, most people are good. They're, you know, either struggling financially or, you know, nothing is ever clean. I do understand that. Nothing is ever easy. But there's these small group of people that I feel like is kind of giving other people bad names or making it uncomfortable for a lot of people. Like, it's just, I don't know, a lot of negativity. So as a shop operator and person who sees a lot of clients, I can tell you there's this group of people that literally buy these cars, put minimum amount of effort into them, cut corners as much as possible, and then try to unload it onto the next person who's going to buy these cars. I know this is not new. This has been going on for a while. But which forced us to change certain of our policies. Number one is, if there's an issue, we're not going to just button it up and put it together so you can sell the car. That's not going to happen. If that is the case, please don't come to my shop. Do not contact me. Don't do anything. It's just not fair to the next person or to us, because the job is not going to be successful. Second thing is, we won't, like, say you have an issue. Your, I don't know, injectors are leaking, or one of them is bad. We're not going to fix that issue with using another used injector. We won't fix one issue or replace one part with another used one that you bought off the internet to fix your issue. I think as a shop, we're going to have to insist on that. And that's basically it. I mean, this is, I guess, part of doing business. And we have to deal with one step at a time. And I apologize, or not apologize, I feel for everybody who's bought a bad car and, you know, they've been lied to and whatnot, and it wasn't what you thought it was, because Vang's definitely one of them, because he came here, he thought he had a 4G63, he had a 64, and all these other issues that he had. But either way, the car's good. We're going to dyno it today. So for this video, the inside camera was recording. For some reason, the files got corrupted and my USB stopped working for some reason. So my inside camera footage I don't have, but what's going on right now is basically I'm going to roll it, make sure the strapping and everything is good, test some of the fuel cut, and then basically get right into it. And then the best thing about AEM is everything is live, or just like a lot of other aftermarket ECUs. Everything is live. Everything is right there and then. And the AEM ECU is super lightning fast. I do have some issues with the software itself, the layout, and maybe the way it works. There's some bugs in it, but the hardware is really, really awesome. So we hit fuel cut exactly where it's supposed to be. It was on 22 psi where the fuel cut kicked in, and we know now that that works. Also, I noticed his clutch is not good. It's kind of slipping. So I'm going to try to pedal it. I already spoke to Vang about it. He's like, okay, let's see what we can get out of it for now. This is at 24 psi, and the wastegate correction was about like 8%. So I got to bring that down a bit. But the great thing is, as you can tell from the graph, the same RPM is where the boost cut kicked in. So it's spooling a lot better, but higher boost at that RPM. So no boost cut really at this time, but a lot of slip past peak torque. I'm telling Vang that, hey, we cannot continue. You might be damaging your transmission, definitely your clutch. I'm going to do one more run, try to smooth everything out and pedal it this time and see what we can get. And this is 93 still, and on 24 psi. So we definitely don't need to do E85 after this without changing a clutch. This was the final run. We basically the last one, what I did was try to smooth everything out, minimize the clutch slip, but you can 100% see in the graph there's a good amount of slip going on, and I had to let the throttle go when I did feel that slip. Taking a look at this graph, he kind of slips right between 55 and 6, and then again at 7. And after this, there was no point in doing, going any further. He would have made like 600, 700. We talked. We were about to build a clutch, and Vang was like, you know what? Let's just go for 1,000 horsepower. So right now, we're actually building his short block, something special, and then going the whole enchilada. And you'll see a good amount of documentation on this car, everything that's in it, what we did, and the end results. Are gonna be here soon, most likely in a couple of months. So stay tuned. Thank you guys for watching. I've been trying to be as consistent, but I know I say that every time, but it's really difficult because I'm the one videotaping, I'm setting the camera, I'm doing the editing, and I'm also thinking about the content. So a lot of my videos are not in chronological order, so you might see something finished in one video that I talk about, and the next one it's not, things like that. But thank you again. Please subscribe, it does help, and stay tuned for more videos.